Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the CHALL, and welcome to another episode, a mini episode of the WWE Show podcast. This is our Elimination Chamber review, of course. Owen, back again. How are we doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Obviously, good day for me yesterday with obviously a brilliant chamber event. And then my team, Stevenage, finally winning for the first time in a couple of weeks. So being a good day, and now we're here to shoot or to do a couple of videos here and hopefully talk about what was a great event.
Absolutely. I couldn't be happier as well with my team winning as well. So that's 5 in a row for Rovers now. So that tops off a really wonderful week personally. So yeah, 4 great matches, a great segment on the Grayson Waller effect as well. And of course, a fantastic kickoff match with the Kabuki Warriors taking on LeRae and Hartwell for the women's tag team titles. Let's get started there then with the kickoff. Kabuki Warriors retaining the titles. Obviously, it's a shame Hartwell didn't win in her own country, but she did get a nice pot, which is obviously lovely to see. Kabuki Warriors, do you think that was the right decision to keep the titles on them, especially with the Damage Control story seem to come into a bit of a climax with Bayley?
I think maybe it's a case of I would have maybe had Candice and Indy win in Australia, and then maybe them drop the titles back on Raw or SmackDown. Maybe I could have been a case of if Bayley. That's the thing. I think if it might have been in America, it's probably more of a chance that Bayley might have come in, interfered, lost in the titles, and then something else happened via there. But obviously, in Australia, there was no need for her to travel. So yeah. People always, I don't know if they're going to be anything planned for WrestleMania for them at the moment. It might just be with this storyline with obviously Bayley and Sky. So yeah, because obviously with WrestleMania, obviously there's a lot of cards, but it's more interesting feuds, and there's not really any feuds at the moment with the tag team titles. They need to build the division up, and it seems to do quite well. They are starting to get a few good teams, but it will take a bit of a while to rebuild because it took a battering over the last couple of years.
Yeah, 110%. Obviously, a great win overall for the Kabuki Warriors, and they retained the women's tag team titles. Next up, then, was the women's Elimination Chamber match to kick off the night. Becky Lynch won the Chamber. There was some fantastic spots in that match. Becky going from number 1 right to the end of the Chamber. We're sort of going to go through it superstar by superstar here. I mean, we'll start off with the first 2 that entered the Chamber, and that was obviously Becky Lynch and Naomi, I believe it was. Those 2 really hit it off well, didn't they? Those 2 were brilliant.
Yeah, they have great chemistry in the ring. Obviously, they've been wrestling for a few years now. They're both at SmackDown when the brand split happened. There's some good matches there. Obviously, the likes of Alexa Bliss and Carmella and things like that. So it's good to see them run it back. And some good wrestling before number 3 came in.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though she didn't win, my MVP of the Chamber goes to Tiffany Stratton. My only kind of bug is I felt she could have gone out 3rd place. I think she could have gone out a lot later. But maybe WWE aren't taking that risk straight away. I think they gave her a good Chamber run, but I think they could have, in my opinion, they should have kept her in a little bit more, but maybe they didn't want to risk it too soon.
Yeah, I mean, to go from a skit a few weeks ago of her cleaning up crap in a farm, basically, to then doing a swanton bomb off a chamber pod in front of 50,000 people is a bit of a change. But Tiffany shown yesterday that she's there.
Yeah,
already. She's 22. She's not even the finished product yet per se. She can just get better and better. And to go, I mean, we're saying that she's a future women's champion. At this rate, she's a future Hall of Famer. She knows what she's doing. She's brilliant. Yeah. And we'd love to see her. Obviously, I think a showcase WrestleMania match will be a perfect place for her to show what she's doing, and wouldn't be surprised if there's a title run in the next 6 months.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know that Tiffany Stratton struck a chord with the crowd when, like, they get eliminated, and like I think they're booing Liv Morgan for it.
Yeah, I think they were calling bullshit on it.
Yeah. It was. And you know what, as well, during the men's chamber, they were shouting Tiffy time. She strikes this chord with the crowd that just stays forever. She's got main event material. Absolutely.
100%. Just going to say that the Australian crowd was brilliant yesterday. Some of the creative chants I've seen them do, they're like up here with the British. I mean,
absolutely.
The Puerto Ricans, the British, the Australians, and it's going to be the same in France, and I presume it's going to be the same in Germany, shows why more international shows are the way to go.
I mean, I still can't get over that Puerto Rican crowd when they did the Bad Bunny entrance in the street fight against Priest. Yeah. My God, that was amazing.
I'll go back and watch that.
I need to go back and watch that. To be fair, during spare time, obviously I've not had a lot of spare time this week because of videos, going to Rovers, girlfriend, etc. It's been great internationally, and I need to go back and watch more. But in the spare time, I've gone back and I've watched some of the older shows from international as well, like the Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall back in the early 90s. Like that was a great crowd for the Royal Albert Hall, and that's only a few thousand, I think, capacity at the time. So, like, it stretches back over decades. Shout out, by the way, to one of the people in that battle royal at the Royal Albert Hall that featured on that show, Typhoon from the Natural Disasters, followed me back on Instagram. So fingers crossed, get that interview sorted. But yeah, like you said, international shows are just the way to go at the moment in terms of reaching out to that international audience. And Puerto Rico was sensational. England was sensational at Money in the Bank. The heat that Dominic Mysterio got as well.
You can barely hear him through his mic.
I was going to say, you can barely, like 50,000 people booing you, and you can barely, like, when you've achieved ultimate heel status when you can't even hear yourself speak over 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, it was brilliant. Going back to the women's chamber then, obviously the final three were Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. How did you rate the ending? Because it was very quick, one after the other. It was Bianca done, and then Liv Morgan done.
Yeah, I think it was a smart way of doing it. I think it protects all the competitors in there. Shows that Bianca's. I think they're going to go with a storyline where she's a bit lost. I think since she's been on the main roster, so that's 37, 38, 39. Yeah. She's either been the champion or she's been the challenger. She obviously won the Royal Rumble in 2021. Obviously, that great match against Sasha Banks. 38, she won the Chamber. 39, she was the champion. Now we're going into WrestleMania 40. She didn't win the Rumble. She didn't win the Chamber. She's not in any of the women's world title matches.
No.
It shows from earlier. It showed in a Twitter post, just the breaking heart emoji, that I think they're going to build something with her desperate to have a match at WrestleMania. Getting interested to see what it is. People obviously going to say Jay Cargill. In my opinion, it's not going to be her. We'll talk about that in a separate video that we're going to be that's going to come out soon. But there will be something for her. I don't know who it might be. It might be a returning star, maybe a legend or something. I think there'll be a match for Bianca Belair. Might even be a showcase match or something like that. That will definitely be something for her.
Yeah, you know, I've got a prediction about Bianca, but I'll go into that in the WrestleMania card prediction video. Obviously, Becky Lynch won it. We both predicted it was going to happen. Obviously, I personally wanted Liv Morgan, but I could see what they're trying to build with Liv Morgan going forward in the next year with Rhea Ripley. But Becky Lynch, she's off to Mania. I mean, to be fair, someone put out a brilliant tweet, and I think they're absolutely spot on with it. And I think she's earned a Mania match, but this is the reason why I think she's earned that WrestleMania match against Rhea Ripley. She really brought the NXT talent up in terms of getting them over, the likes of Tiffany Stratton, you know, working with the legends over the last year or so, you know, that rivalry with Trish, going to NXT, bringing up Lyra Valkyrie, you know, being that, and, you know, going for that title. And you know what? Fair play to Becky Lynch. Because when you look at it from that perspective and what she's done for the younger talent, what she's done with the legends in the past year and a half, for me, I think she's earned it this year. Do I think she's going to win? In my opinion, story-wise, probably not, because I think the story here is building towards Rhea and Liv at 41. but I think she'll give Rhea a bloody good match.
Yeah, I mean, it's a match I've been waiting to see for ages. We haven't seen a match. I don't know if you've ever seen Becky v Rhea Ripley. We might have done once on like a random Raw or something like that, but
Yeah,
I don't remember it. And they build this to be a very, very good match. It's between, in my opinion, two of the biggest women's stars on the planet at the moment.
yeah.
It's a match we've all wanted to see. I think if it wasn't for the very, very good storyline between Bayley and Sky, I think it would have made it main event at night one. But 100%, I think it was still the show on one of the nights. I think you put it on night one, or maybe you put it on night two as the women's title main event.
Yeah.
WWE women's title, or my event night one. I'll talk about what I think is going to happen, obviously a bit later in that next video. But I think it goes on night two, and I wouldn't be surprised if it opens maybe, because I think if you're not going to close the show, I think the best place to do would be open the show, give it a really, really good start. But yeah, there's so many good matches on Mania, and this is going to be one of the best. I think one of the best of the lot.
Absolutely. If I can put it in Legends terms, it feels like it's going to be like Trish Stratus versus the late great Chyna. It feels like that kind of matchup where you've got the man Becky Lynch, who's won all this gold, who's, you know, achieved that Trish status legendary sort of level, future Hall of Famer guaranteed. And then she's come up against the world champion Rhea Ripley, who gives me Chyna vibes. She is this dominating powerhouse, this superstar with tremendous athletic ability and strength and power and force. And she, you know, is the next one to be like what Becky Lynch is, achieving multiple championships like she already has done. So it's two very legendary female superstars in the wressling game of all time, not just the here and now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if because there have been talks. I don't know if it's obviously might not be serious, but have been talks about maybe even Rhea Ripley doing some stuff with the men. I think she's possible if they're happy with it. I think she'd be perfect. She's, like I say, she's a bit like a Chyna. I think she's got that powerhouse, and if she wants to do it, I would say go for it. I think she could fit right in. Obviously, it depends on if it works out and things, but
yeah,
you know, she's one of the best, in my opinion, women's wrestlers on the planet at the moment. She's carrying that women's division at the moment. Since that, yes, the title reign at the start wasn't particularly great because she was with the Judgement Day, but I think since sort of Crown Jewel, I would say from there on, it's been pretty solid.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Finally, then on the chamber, obviously we talked about Naomi, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair. Can't discredit Raquel Rodriguez from what she's come back from injury-wise to come back into an Elimination Chamber and to do the stuff that she did before getting eliminated. Fair play to her. She put on a good show last night.
Yeah. Well, considering I read what she put on Instagram last night, she had a flare-up of her. I'm not going to say what it is because I might butcher it, but she has a sort of medical condition that flares up with her skin. But I think it flared up yesterday again on the flight over to Australia, from what she said, and obviously she came out yesterday fully natural, not without makeup, which fair play to her because I don't think many people would do that. And she gone out and performed very, very, very well. And I really, really think that she's going to be like one of the better powerhouses in this women's division, and she's just going to get better and better. And I can't wait to see her just go from strength to strength.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic to see her just keep going those next levels, you know, if and when she's able to. And it's going to be, you know, really exciting to see what she's going to do next. Obviously, then, going on to the next match, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, the New Catch Republic, officially, love the name, and the reason why they went into it as well, versus the Judgement Day. Judgement Day retaining, we both predicted that, but the New Catch Republic put on a really good show. Finn Balor's thumb is in another parallel universe, thanks to the Bruiserweight. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Judgment Day and what they're doing at the minute, but in terms of me putting on my character head again, I despise the Judgment Day so much. Yeah. I despise them. Priest, get out of there. Rhea Ripley, get out of there.
Yeah.
Dirty Dom, be with your dad again. Finn Balor, you deserve this.
But what a match. I mean, they got, what was it, 15, 16 minutes? I forgot how long the match was. Well, it's about
Something like that, yeah.
17, about 17 minutes, 25. But brilliant match. Didn't think it was long at all, to be honest. It was a blast. So many good moments. I think you gave the New Catch Republic, like, I mean, they hit an assisted Tyler Driver. Pete Dunne hit the bitter end. They had the Birmingham Hammer, they're calling it. Obviously, it was an assisted Burning Hammer.
Yeah.
But they're calling it the Birmingham Hammer because I believe they're both from Birmingham. I know Pete Dunne is. But really good there. And it shows that under Triple H, tag team wrestling is just going to go from strength to strength.
Oh, yeah. You could tell Triple H has had that creative direction with the tag team division, especially from his days with Generation X. And, you know, Triple H, even before DX, knew about partnerships back in his day, of course, having, I think, Sable as his valet back in the day when he was, Jean-Paul, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. With the Ode to Glory theme. So he knows a lot about partnerships, his partnerships in DX, his partnerships in the Authority, the partnership with Sable as Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Evolution.
So Triple H yeah, exactly. So again, the two-man power trip with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he knows a lot about partnerships, and he knows what creative direction to take them in the best way possible. And I love the direction of the New Catch Republic. They might not have won the titles, but by God, they put in a really good show. And I think I said this on the last show, and I'll say this again. I would love Ilya Dragunov to be a part of this New Catch Republic. I think it's very British strong style, but it could add some European violence and European gore to the stable and really create an international violence flavor. I think that could be the best thing here. Or you could put a manager inside of New Catch Republic as well.
Yeah.
It could be anyone. It could be someone like a Johnny Saint. You could contact Nigel McGuinness back and see if he wants to come back. Because I think his talking on the mic as Desmond Wolfe back in TNA was fantastic.
Yeah.
You could do different things. There's plenty of UK managers that would be fantastic. I mean, I'm putting my hand in the ring, but no, in all seriousness, New Catch Republic got some serious potential either as a team or as a faction.
Because when they were British strong style, especially in Progress, it was Trent Seven who did a lot of the talking.
Yeah.
Obviously now, without Trent Seven, which is still a bit annoying, I would have loved to see him be in this and be British strong style because he's incredible. But if they can maybe bring in someone who can talk, like, yes, Tyler Bate can talk and he's improved massively, but if they have someone trusted, like say someone British, William Regal, if you're not doing anything at the moment, you never know. Someone like him.
He is back with NXT, but he's just not on camera.
No. Maybe you do. I was thinking you maybe do him as a manager and maybe bring in Charlie Dempsey if you're going to bring him up at one point.
That would be a really good addition to the New Catch Republic because he's
people don't know Charlie Dempsey's William Regal's son. That's the reason why he's now in NXT. He's the reason why Regal's back from AEW. If anyone doesn't know that. I
think he was known as Bailey Matthews before, and now he's Charlie Dempsey, obviously.
Yeah, he was Bailey Matthews, I believe, on
Independence.
It was in NXT UK, I believe, as well.
Yeah. And now he's obviously Charlie Dempsey. And Charlie Dempsey, to be fair, is a decent name. I think that would go down well, to be fair, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. The thing is, though, I think the reason why I think he probably didn't want to, because they could have easily done like Bailey Regal or something like that, but I think he wanted to sort of go away from that name. So I would love to maybe, but if I don't think they've ever said on telly that he's Regal's son. I think they said it on AGPW because Regal announced that Charlie Dempsey was going to AGPW to win for the title. So that's the only way they've ever acknowledged it. Obviously, that wasn't on NXT telly, so we do not know about that.
Yeah, I mean, they could do, if they wanted to rename him into a Regal, they could do Charlie Regal because that sounds a bit better.
Yeah.
Or Regal Dempsey. They could do it as a first name if they wanted to. Yeah. So there's different possibilities if they wanted to go that direction. But I think that New Catch Republic showed a great amount of themselves on the night. Men's Chamber. Now, there's one particular move that I want to point out first. I want to sort of go with this straight off the bat, and I think you might have seen this. There's a reason why Kevin Owens did the choke slam. He doesn't usually do choke slams. So the reason why is because there was this Make-A-Wish in Australia that he was part of, and he promised this kid, this lovely, lovely kid, that he would do a choke slam on the telly, for that Make-A-Wish in Australia. And the choke slam itself was perfect. It was a great choke slam. But Kevin Owens doesn't usually do choke slams, and I loved the reasoning behind it. I thought it was absolutely beautiful just to see that dream come true for him.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but the reason why I love Dobie's partnership with Make-A-Wish is exactly what John Cena said in Impulsive a few weeks ago. Like I say, he's been able to do it a lot, and Derby's relationship at Make-A-Wish is brilliant, and to show, especially now as they go abroad a lot, to be able to use that partnership to bring new experiences to so many new people, and to give these children like something to sort of get away from the pain and what they're feeling at the moment. It's just brilliant. And Kevin Owens, you could just see is a great guy. Yes, on character he's a bit of a psychopath, but outside of the ring he's brilliant. And you could see that he was walking in yesterday to Elimination Chamber with a freaking koala. Like man, he's amazing, and I can't wait to see more from him. And yeah, it'd be someone I would love to meet as well, because he's just incredible.
Yeah, he's a real ambassador for how passionate you need to be about this industry in terms of getting involved with the industry. If you want to get involved in the wrestling industry, you've got to have the passion for it. Kevin Owens, I guess, describes that. He describes the passion for the wrestling industry, and he's a real ambassador, not just for WWE, but for the indie scene as well, because he came from the indie scene. He was built on the indie scene, and he harnessed his craft. He grafted his craft on the indie scene, and then went into NXT, grafted through developmental, and then came into the main roster, and has just shone ever since as that psychotic prize fighter, that real, and it's kind of stayed all the way through. Even when he's had different phases, heel or face, it's kind of stayed the same, but just in new forms. And he's a real ambassador for the industry. So I love that from Kevin Owens. I really, really do. The chamber itself, though, very, very good. As we predicted, Logan Paul is a freak athlete. But something I didn't see happening, Logan Paul costing Randy Orton his place at WrestleMania through, obviously McIntyre won the chamber, but Logan Paul with the right hand on Orton. Are we having a triple threat for the US title at WrestleMania now?
Well, I believe we might. I'm going to talk obviously a bit more about this in this. I know we're all talking about this video that's next. Don't worry, you will be getting this video where it's going to be coming out, I believe. The chamber video, this video is coming out today.
Yeah.
Right, saying that, and then the chamber video, and then the WrestleMania prediction will be happening tomorrow. So don't worry, we're not teasing you and letting you wait 3 days for it.
The WrestleMania 40 card prediction video will be out 9 o'clock Monday night on UK time. Obviously, it's different for America, but 9 o'clock UK time at night on tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
little promo there.
I think he was brilliant in the chamber. What I did love actually from him was I don't know if you've seen it, but he bought his mic from his blog thing. And I think he bought Sharpie too. So he's just like writing stuff on the pen while he's like talking to, like, I don't know, it might be Mike, or I believe Raka Raka were there, so it might be Raka Raka.
Yeah.
Raka Raka, and just talking about like the video, it's brilliant. And then obviously just showed at the end of the video him just head getting slammed from Kevin Owens. And then obviously
that was brilliant from Kevin Owens. That threw back the years, didn't it?
Yeah. And then Bobby with a spear through the pod. That was brutal.
Fair play to Logan Paul for taking that spot.
Yeah. Incredible spot. And I'm being honest, both chamber matches delivered massively. We'll talk about McIntyre again, obviously. brilliant for McIntyre, and I hope you're going into title. We're going to talk. Obviously, we'll talk a bit more about what we think is going to happen overall.
The other weird thing is though with McIntyre, just commenting on McIntyre winning.
Yeah,
that's two matches now in this past week where someone else has basically given him the victory, and you realise how McIntyre sort of wanted to get revenge on the bloodline for him getting cost the world title, and now he's been handed victories by two different heels.
Yeah, but he's probably going to be. But it's his mind that says, "Well, I deserve that luck."
Yeah,
you know the amount of unlucky I got from the bloodline. Well, I deserve this.
And you know what? I'm going to say this right now because I said it on Twitter when he won. The bringer of broken dreams, the vision is coming true. The truth shall be realized. All hail Drew McIntyre. Acknowledge him.
100%. I think it's going to be a great match come WrestleMania season. And man, that chamber though, Randy Orton again, he scares me the amount of good selling he does. I thought
he popped his back out again. I thought he popped his back out again.
Yeah, man, he's so good. But yeah, to see obviously now that with Logan Paul, and then what I believe also is that with also I want to say congrats to Bronson Reed before we go on to the next topic. On I believe I don't know if he's had his kid. It's not been confirmed, but I know the reason why he was not at the Elimination Chamber was because he was having a kid.
There were reports from different sources that the plan originally was to have Bronson Reed face Seth Rollins for the title at Elimination Chamber before all of it started happening. So, obviously, congratulations to Bronson Reed for the for your new child, and obviously, all the best to you and your family. So, obviously, great news for Bronson Reed, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm considering what happened last night. I'm really hoping we go back, or last afternoon. I'm really hoping we go back to Australia at one point, and you can have that moment.
I reckon next year. I think next year will be his year in Australia. If they're going to go back to Australia, whether it's Perth again, whether it's Sydney, Melbourne, there's potential to do other cities in Australia because obviously Tiffany Stratton didn't really like the Perth crowd at the press event, and obviously had something to say after the chamber match on exclusive anyway. And obviously Bronson Reed as well getting his moment at some point. So they'll go back to Australia, but I don't think it'll be Perth next year. If they're going to go back next year, I don't think it'll be Perth.
No, I think if they're going to go next year, it'll probably be. They've done Melbourne a few years ago, so I think they might go Sydney if they're going to do it.
I reckon Sydney would be a smart choice if they're going to do it next year.
100%.
Obviously, before we get on to the main event, we have to talk about that segment, the Grayson Waller effect. Cody and Seth. You know what? They're teasing Cody versus The Rock, and you know what? People are going to say, "Oh, it's going to happen on night one of WrestleMania." No, it's going to happen on SmackDown. It's going to happen on SmackDown. Not the SmackDown before WrestleMania, but I think the week before WrestleMania.
I don't know. I don't think they're building to one-on-one. I think they're building to a tag match. I'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this on this match card video. But that's my prediction anyway. That's what I think might happen. But what I did also like is this sort of thing with Grayson.
Yeah.
And that thing of obviously he left Theory out to dry, as some people say.
Are we building to Waller versus Theory at WrestleMania?
I don't know, maybe Mania, but maybe the WrestleMania SmackDown, whatever they call it.
Maybe.
Because they they like doing it where it's like the WrestleMania, the SmackDown before will be like, I believe they'll probably do it again with the Battle Royal will probably be on the SmackDown.
But the thing is, right though, they've got a month. If they're going to do something between Waller and Theory for Mania, they've got a month to basically build it up. Could they do that over a month? Because I know Theory versus McAfee took a couple of months to build, quite a few months to build. But like anything that's going to happen at WrestleMania now, surely have they got enough time to build it up? Because I reckon they could have to build something up at least, and then carry it on for WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe it just depends on how many matches Triple H wants to book for Mania. Yeah. You got 2 nights, so don't know how many he wants to book.
WrestleMania is going to be what 3.5, 4 hours probably a night.
Maybe 4.5 with the earlier start time. That'd be an excuse to maybe put an extra hour on.
Maybe. Who knows? But what Cody and Seth were saying on the show was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It was brilliant.
And then we get on to the main attraction. And my God, the reaction that Rhea Ripley got during her entrance, she deserved every single one of them cheers.
Oh, 100%. For her to be back home, obviously, I think the last time she must have performed in Australia, I think the last time they were in Australia for WWE, she was just like coming through NXT UK was nearly a thing, so she was in there.
Yeah.
And or I think it might have just been a thing or something like that. And obviously she was part of that. But now to see her main event the show in her home country, and the match was brilliant, by the way. I think another one I want to say is give Nia Jax her flowers. I think since she's come back to WWE, I think she's improved massively.
Yeah, she was great in that match. She sold it pretty well.
Yeah, and the thing I quite liked was when she hit the Samoan drop and it didn't hit and the table didn't break. She basically went fuck it and elbowed from a chair through a table. Tough landing for Rhea though. I saw she landed on the screens.
Oh yeah, that did not look good.
She's probably very sore today. While they're probably on that flight back to the US. But yeah, I think brilliant match. Great to see Rhea winning her home country and going into that, like we say, brilliant match against, hopefully an amazing match against Becky. Nia Jax, I presume, will probably have something at WrestleMania. My prediction is, I think she's got one. She's got a one-on-one match. I won't say who, obviously.
I'm thinking the same thing as you, and I think we're thinking the same person as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, great foil that Nia Jax was last night. And to rip the Riptide again, brilliant Riptide, and the strength from Rhea is brilliant. And I mean, yeah, like I say, since November, Rhea Ripley's had a brilliant title run. That fatal 5-way going into the singles run against Zoe Stark, and then even the match against Ivy Nile and things like that. She's been brilliant, and I can't wait to see her to go against match against Becky, and there's so much possibility for other feuds going after that.
Yeah, I think overall it was just a fantastic night. Like I said, so much talent on show, and it's just going to get even better from there. So yeah, Elimination Chamber 2024. I will go out on a limb right now, and I will say not only was this a great event, but I will say specifically, I don't know what you're thinking, mate, the women's chamber match, in my opinion, was the best one that was the best women's elimination chamber match they've done so far.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I love the original ones. The original one I quite like for the story. The Mufasa moment between Bailey and Sasha Banks. But yeah, I think in spot wise and wrestling wise, better match. They knew exactly what they were going to do. They had a storyline. Like 2020 was more just showing Shane as a killer. 2021 was pretty good for 2021 didn't have one. Sorry, 2022 was just way too short. But both chain matches were way too short on that card. 2023 was good, a bit sloppy in places. But yeah, 2023 was very clean overall.
Yeah. 2024 was delivered absolutely. And now I think we've only got. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we've only got one NXT pay-per-view, and then we're at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we've got I think it's an NXT like it's not pay-per-view PLE per se, but I think it's a special event on a Tuesday.
Is it Roadblock?
Yeah, NXT Roadblock, which we'll probably see something happen. I know we've had it sometimes. Dolph Ziggler won the NXT title at Roadblock going into San Liver, so we're interested to see what happens there. Wouldn't be surprised though if we see a big episode of Raw maybe in maybe in a couple weeks, but we'll start to see Mania matches, non-title Mania matches and some of the singles like the US and the Continental titles be locked in, and I presume maybe in 2 to 3 weeks to build to that match. And then we'll start to see qualifiers for things like maybe showcase matches and things like that. Because we're only about 40 days away now. It's not that far away.
We're not. No, Philly is only 40 days away, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. There we go, guys. That is the Elimination Chamber review. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time for our WrestleMania 40 card prediction. We've devised our own cards, 8 matches per night on both of our cards. I'm doing the graphics for them as we speak as well. So they're going to be all sourced as well. So they're all going to be edited in, ready for this full video. This WrestleMania card prediction one's going to be an audio only. We're going to have all the graphics over the top of us while we're speaking, and it's going to be basically an audio only one, which I'm really looking forward to doing. I'm really looking forward to edit that and put all the graphics on and do the transitions WrestleMania style and try and do something like that. So I'm going to try my best to make sure this one is massively edited. So it's going to be a tough one to edit, but I'm going to love doing it today. but there we go. Owen, obviously, as always, thank you very much. Obviously, we'll be here anyway, straight away after we've finished filming this to do the card prediction video. But as always, thank you very much.
Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny Wrestling on the shirt. There we go, guys. Thank you very, very much for listening and watching on the WWE Show podcast. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, with the WrestleMania 40 card predictions, our own fantasy booking episode. But for now, I'm the CHALL. Shout out to Typhoon of the Natural Disasters, and ta-ra for now.